I'll be making a crochet bag and I'll be using a macrame cord 3mm thick. I'm using a 4mm hook and I'm starting with a notch. I'm currently making a 50 chains. That's the main chain number that I'll be using for this video. And I'll be adding one stitch to it, making 51 stitches, 51 chains for this purse. Now the number of chains you make are very important for the ending part of the purse. You need to take note of the numbers. Now I'm trying to compare the length that I have depending on how long or how deep you want your bag to be. That's the number of chains you are going to make. I'm still going up to 50 and make one extra chain with it. You just put the two loops just like this together to see how deep you're going to be making the bag. Now that I have a complete one, you turn over the chain and you will see the back loop just like that. You skip the first and go into the second. Remember, I added one extra, so the extra is what I'm going to be skipping. And in the back loop, you pull through and make a slip stitch. You put in, yarn over and make a slip stitch. For the purpose of this video, I did a 50 chain like I said, and on each end of the chain I made 5 slip stitches, and the remaining body will be single crochet. So make 5 slip stitches and make single crochet in the remaining part of the bag. Still back loop all through. Find the loop, yarn over, slip stitch. Single crochet. That's a single crochet. You can see the difference in the design is coming out. Continue this to the end. Now this is the end of this is the other end. Here also make a slip stitch of the same number that you made on the other end. If you're making 5, make sure it's 5 on both sides. If you're making 6, 7, so it's usually preferable that you make it short. It makes the beauty of the purse come out even better. This is the last stitch, slip, and then make a chain. Make a chain and turn over. We're going to be working in the back loop. Working in the back loop of your work. Anything you're doing, either the slip stitch or the single crochet, you're doing it in the back loop. Continue to do this. Repeat this. Keep turning your work and keep using the back loop continuously until you have your desired width. How wide you want it to be. I'm putting a stitch marker here to remind me of when to start with the slip stitch, because sometimes you may forget. So using the slip stitch, the stitch marker help you to remember where you're supposed to make the slip knot so you don't forget. And because the last stitch at the edge somehow used to fall under other stitches, so you might mistaken it as it not being a stitch. But if you put a stitch marker and you start to count from the back, it will let you know that you still have one more stitch that is hiding in front and you need to find it out, or else your work is going to be shorter and it's going to slant. Unfortunately, you may not realize until you are almost at the end of the work before you know you've made a terrible mistake and you have to loosen it up. Trust me, that is not a good feel. That's not a good feel. Now I have some width, although I still need to add more because I feel this is small. Because of this type of bag yarn I'm using, it's called a macrame yarn, I need to do more rows before I reach my desired width. But for t-shirt yarn, which is a much wider and thicker product, I may not even need to do as much to get my desired width. Just continue with the same method, slip stitch to begin a row. Like I said, I did 50 and I have 5 on each edge. And 40 body. I'm just working to get my desired width. Now this is where we're going to be making, I have my desired width now, and this is where we're going to be making the curve for it to have its shape. So I said I have 50 stitches, so I'm going to be making 5 slip stitches at the edges, both side. Here I'm going to be starting with a 5 slip stitches, and I'm going to be doing 14 single crochet, making 19 stitches, and I'm going to be doing 4 reduction stitch, 4 single crochet, another 4 reduction stitch, and then 14 single crochet and 5 slip stitches. All of that makes 50. Just trying to get to the first 19. Just doing a quick count. Sometimes it seems so unnecessary counting over and over, but trust me, you don't want to make a single mistake when you're making crochet, either bag or anything. Now this is where I make my 4 reductions, see? Yeah, and then I just continue. No need to put a chain, just continue with 4 single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, and then I make another 4 reductions here. So 1, 2, you don't complete the stitch 3 and 4, and then you pull over, and then you continue with 14 single crochets and 5 slip stitches. So that's for the first row. For the second row I did 17, so that's 5 slip stitches, 12 single crochet, 4 reductions, followed by 2 single crochet, another 4 reduction, then 12 single crochet and 5 slip stitches. And then the third row of that I did 15, so that's 5 slip stitches, 10 single crochet, 4 reduction stitches, and then I did immediately another 4 reduction stitches, and then I continue with 10 slip stitches, 10 single crochet and 5 slip stitches. That is how I did the sides, and you're going to repeat that also on both sides. So this is the second row where you do 17, then 4 reduction, 2 single crochet, 4 reduction, 2 and then the remaining 17 to finish on the other side. Yep, I've done the 3 joining stitches. You can see how it's looking. Now I'm going to pull the yarn through to join this together without it showing any stitch or sewing mark or something. So you look for the edge of a side to the other edge of the other side. The outer edges, not the inner. The outer edges. And that's how you're going to be crossing it all the way. Make sure you have a good length when you are cutting this side. Make sure you have a very good length. I didn't have a very good length for this, so it was a bit of struggle for me because the yarn kept on coming out, kept on slipping off, and I had to keep putting it back over and over again. So you can see how it's neatly joined. So everything we did on this side, we'll also do on the other side to help close it up. And once you finish this bit, you hide your stitch, the remaining part of your stitch, you hide it away. And because of the type of yarn that it is, you may need to bond the tip a bit just to prevent it from loosening up, because if you cut it, it has the tendency of loosening up. So you might need to use fire to kind of smoothen the edges out. So this is me hiding the stitch afterwards, and I did bond it at the end of the day. So I did the same thing on the other side as well. The 3 layers of joining stitches. I also did this crossing at the end to close it up neatly and not show any edges or any lapses or any on any kind of joining that won't beautify it. Same me hiding it neatly. And that's the beautiful thing about yarn. You may never see where you have kept it. It's always done neatly. And that's how the edge is going to look like. You do it on the other side as well. And tada, you have your purse. You have your beautiful purse. So you just put your clip-ons, you put your hand chains, and you're good.